morning, traders. Manny Cabrera from MDC Trading Academy with today's pre-market forecast for April the 22nd. Let's look at our news items for this week. Very light week in reference to reports this week. Really having nothing whatsoever significant that happens after the bell rings, except on Friday at 10 a.m., which we have the revised UOM. But essentially, we have nothing essentially to be concerned with is reference to news, which is good news in a way because it allows us to concentrate more on price action than anything else. Let's go to our analysis charts here. We begin with our daily chart, and what we see here is market apparently is retracing from a resistance area which was placed here on the high of this bar here, which was, I believe, on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, or Thursday, at 23.50. Let me just double check that one more time, guys. 23.50. Yeah, market retraces off the area. Remember, same pattern, run, establishes resistance, retraces, runs, establishes a resistance, retraces, runs, retests that resistance, runs through it, creates another resistance, consolidates, retraces. So it's the same effect. Here's your run. Here's your established resistance. Market pulls back. Now, the market can pull back to two places. Friday's previous low, which we're going to look at right now, and or it can pull down to the 20 SMA. That would be a big drop, and that would have to happen with a lot of volume. Our volume is averaging about 163,000, which is well off our minimum average that we enjoy in the market to really trade with good volume and movement at 1.1. And our RTR is healthy at 21. Let's look at our first chart here, which is a projection chart here. This is a chart where we are plotting and projecting into the future potential price areas where the market can react. And as we're seeing, we've been pretty much in this channel of between these two red lines, which were previous all-time highs. And the market is just running, setting up highs and lows throughout the day and just oscillating between the two areas. There was no different on last Friday. I'm sorry, on Thursday, market ran down, created a low, reestablished, and it continued to run to the upside. So it's no different. Today, we're kind of in the middle between these two areas. You can see it clearly here in our analysis chart here. Here's the intraday high of Thursday. Here's the intraday low of Friday, Thursday. Market is just hanging out between two areas here, if you can see here. So what we're expecting today, well, I think the first thing we're going to probably see is a run. Continued run to the downside, probably to come retest this area here. Now, if this area holds, then we're expecting this to be our support for the day and potential continuation to the upside. Now, this can continue all the way up. It can just be consolidating touch to the area before it moves lower. So, but our first test is, let's see what happens once it gets down to this area. See if it bounces off this area and begins a run to the upside. If not, if it starts to consolidate between these areas, it is more likely that it's going to break through to find lower lows and probably come retest this low down here from the previous pre-market low at 28, pre-market intraday pre-market low at 28.89.50. So that is a potential, but it's going to be a little mixed today. So be very careful out there today. Don't force this market. It's not the type of market that you're going to hit a home run every single time. You have to be very careful with it. Here's our trade chart. You can see we're essentially between two areas. We did break through the intraday high, but it was just temporarily. Market retraces off the area strongly down, and that's pretty much holding between these two areas here. And I believe like our first run, like I said, is probably going to be some sort of retracement here, maybe continuation to here. That'll probably be our first test. So like I said, just be very careful. Pick your battles. It really isn't much as reference to news this week, so you have to pay attention to price action and be very careful out there in this week. Take care.